second date, and I was not living in the city at the time. I had a show. So he was like, oh, I'll come to your show. And I was like, so he came to my show. And I was like, okay.
Nightmare.
And well, yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
and
never
then,
do that again.
No, never happening again.
That's a huge mistake.
No. I did a joke about me having like an STD.
Let's go.
And afterward he was like, hey, so like, do you have one? And I had to be like, I used to.
I was chlamydia one time.
When I wrote it, I did. Don't now. But he was very concerned.
I love that he was concerned. That's so funny.
It came up almost immediately after I left.
He was thinking about that the whole time. He was sitting in the back like, no, she's pretty. I want to hit. Damn it.
Yeah.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Friend Crush, the podcast. I'm your host, Yvette. I'm so excited to be here today with one of my all-time friend crushes. Her name is Julia Dicesare. You guys might know her from American High, which she was on for a few years. And now she is super big online. She has an incredible Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. She does stand-up. This girl does it all. She is younger than me, which is worth noting because she is so accomplished, and I really, really admire her and her work ethic, and the way she approaches stuff is very, very similar to me, which was sort of a lot of what we talked about today on the pod. But what's interesting about her in particular is that she uses spirituality a lot in the way that she approaches life and art, and she's such a dynamic creator. You guys should definitely check out her video diaries on YouTube. Those are some of my favorites, as well as her sketches, which are so, so funny. This girl is just like kind of a force. So I'm so excited to see what she does next. You guys have to check her out online. So basically we had a really nice conversation just sort of about our like personal philosophies, and we commiserated a little bit about what it's like being online. But it was a really interesting conversation. I think there's a lot of good stuff in there about just how to stay productive, how to check in with yourself. And I feel like I learned a lot, so hopefully you will too. Anyway, and what's coming up with me, you might ask? Why don't you try signing up for my mailing list? Because guess what? I'm actually going on the road in the fall. I have some stuff coming up in October, so if that's going to be your city, or if you want me to come to your city, please sign up for my mailing list so I can do stand-up for you. Yay! And I'll bring my guy friends. Yay! Okay. Anyway, check out me and Julia. We had a great conversation. Hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
If I'm trying to complete a script, if I have like a meeting in the middle of the day,
yeah,
I want the whole day is like ideal to me.
Yes, totally.
And I think, I don't know. It's really hard. I was just trying to I was researching like writing advice for like finding time to write, because I think that's the hardest part is like having the consistent time to like go to the script.
And also like to have your brain in the right place.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm so finicky with that stuff, like because I need so much clarity. Excuse me. And I feel like I need to have like exactly enough sleep.
I totally get it.
I need to like feel like my time is my own for the whole day. And I need to feel like not like stressed about like pressure or anything. Just like I need the environment to be just right. I need to know like where I'm at that day. So it's like, have
you tried to build like a system to support you to do that?
I'm starting to try and figure out what that is.
Do you know what are specifically like the things that you need? So you need sleep.
I need enough sleep. That's the biggest thing that I've been up against the past like few weeks.
Okay. Because you're an insomniac, or because you've been out?
Both.
Okay.
Well, insomniac for sure. And then like because I'm doing this acting class and it starts at 10 a.m. But in order to get there for 10 a.m., I have to wake up at 8:30.
Oh, that's
and
really hard.
Yeah.
Because also I like to write in the morning.
Do you?
Are you not a morning writer?
No.
Okay. When you write whenever, but like not in the morning.
Not in the morning.
Okay.
I don't turn on until the afternoon.
Okay.
And sometimes not till 6 p.m.
Okay.
Frankly. And honestly, like my best time to write is 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay.
Like so like middle of the night.
Would you ever go to like a bar and write?
Wait, that's such an interesting idea.
Because so I didn't even know you could do that until I was talking to someone. I didn't even think of that until I go to coffee shops all the time.
Yeah.
But then I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, sometimes I'll like go get a glass of wine and like write. And I was like, what? Wait,
that's so pick me though.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like I thought the same thing. And I'm always like, if I'm doing anything in a bar, I like being alone. And so even if I want to read at a bar, I'm like, everyone thinks I'm doing this for attention. But I can't even focus on performative. I can't even focus on my book because I'm like, I look like such a loser. Like, I don't want to do
it's
this.
Upside down.
Yeah. But I do think like, I kind of like the idea of that, of like bringing a laptop and sitting in like just a discreet like spot with like a glass of wine. Yeah, because then it's like you're not in your apartment. You can be there for 2 hours and just work, have like a glass or two or whatever. I don't know.
Get absolutely hammered.
Get hammered, right?
Write something. You read it the next day. It's gibberish.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, well, I wrote it last night.
I think like moving environments helps me. Like I can't.
Me too, yeah.
It's really hard for me to stay in one location all the time while I'm writing. I don't know. I'm also writing something right now, and I'm doing the same thing of like trying to create the perfect
environment to like, because sometimes, because you know when you do have it, sometimes you just flow.
Yeah.
And then you're like I've written like a solid like 17 pages in like one sitting. And then and every day I try and replicate that, you know.
That's really hard. That's hard. Yeah. It's also like, I feel like the pressure, like when you get mad at yourself, it makes it so much worse. You know, when you're like, why can't you fucking write? And then you're like, oh, I should stop.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
I feel like something that you and I have in common is that we're trying to like outsmart our own bodies.
Oh, yeah. That's all I do. Literally, that is so funny you say that, because my bedroom right now, it looks like a psychopath lives there, because I have all these sticky notes with numbers on the wall. I have like all these numbers, like day 1, day 2. And every day I replace the sticky note with like how that day went, like routine-wise. It's psycho. It's too much.
Does it work?
It is working.
Whoa!
It's working because like, you know, when you're like, okay, I want to build this habit. I'm going to build this habit. And then you like, it's just too hard. You put too much energy on yourself. I told myself, I was like, I'm going to commit to like these 3 things every morning for 10 days. So I put like 10 sticky notes on my wall.
Wait, I'm doing 10 days right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like 10 is such a good number.
10 is a perfect number.
30 is too many.
Too many.
7 feels like whatever. I think 10 is great.
10 is great. 2 weeks is just slightly too much.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, that's a whole thing.
And I think once I'm done with these 10 days, I'll just like, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm glad this resonates with you, because most of the time I don't talk about this because I feel like a psycho. Like, I'm going to reevaluate how that went.
Yeah.
What I need to add, what I need to change.
Yeah.
And just try to build the habit.
Wait, what are your 3 things?
The 3 things are like out of bed by 7.
Okay. Psycho.
Followed by cleaning my room completely.
Okay.
And then meditating for 10 minutes. And then the gym.
These are good things.
They're really good. And that's my perfect morning
and then
to be able to write.
Yes.
And I've been trying to, even
That's
if I
so
have
smart.
like stuff all day, what I've been trying to do is like after those things, I need to work on this feature for at least an hour. Like because I figure, of course, my preferred thing would be I have a month of no interruptions to write. But if I can only get an hour to 3 hours every morning, like I can manage that, you know, especially if I'm starting early.
If that's like a good hour though, I mean, you can do a lot in an hour.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's just like little, I'm reading this book. You would like this book. I'm reading this book called Daily Rituals.
Okay.
It's a very long book, but it's basically these little short chapters about very famous artists of different kinds, like painters, composers, whatever. And it tells you what their daily schedule was in like the peak of their career, and how they spent their hours. And because it's all documented in some place, like by someone documented, either it's someone's wife or themselves in their journal. And it's really interesting because, I mean, some people have like whack schedules, but other people it's like, I go for a walk at this time, I go swimming at this time because that helps my brain. And a lot of people say stuff that I relate to, and I'm sure you do too, of like, I would rather just be writing than doing anything else. Like I don't like it's very interesting to see how other people do it.
Yeah.
I find routines very interesting.
Yeah. Well, routine is good, I think, for the little like animal parts of our brain. Like we're supposed to have a routine.
Yeah.
I will say I realized that like every time I hunker down too hard, I like kind of lose it, because then I totally like I'll cut out my entire social life because I'm like, okay, I need to focus. And then I do that for like a week. And I'm like, I have nothing to say. I'm like losing touch with like how people speak and reality. And like, so like last night I was like doing that. I was like, okay, I need to rest so I can like write and like blah, blah, blah. And then my friends texted me at like 10 p.m. and they were like, come meet us at the bar. And I was like, okay. And because I was like, if I don't do this, then I'm just going to be miserable tomorrow. And
it's not sustainable. Like it is. I also get the same urge and sometimes I feel like shut people out a little bit, especially if I'm locked into something. But I agree with you, and I almost think of it as like maybe, and you must do this too, if that's what you're saying, like I almost categorize all my social stuff as like, well, that's research.
Me too.
I have to go do that.
No, literally. I'm
in order to write something.
1,000%. And then if I don't leave like a social interaction with like 2 bits, I'm like, well, what the fuck was the point?
Yeah. No, I totally relate to that.
Yeah, which is like, okay, wait. This actually I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you...
I'm excited. What?
You like beat the joy
out of writing?
Yeah, because it's like we're comedians, but it's like obviously like you love to work really hard and I also love to work really hard. But I think sometimes I work so hard that I like miss the point. And then I'm like, because I have to be having fun. And sometimes I like forget how to have fun. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I'm trying to think of the most like concise, I guess this is a podcast. We're supposed to talk. Let me think.
One word, please, in response.
Okay, fun and writing. I feel like when it's not fun is when I'm just like too mean to myself.
Yes.
And so, and also, and again, I think you'll relate to this. I know I'm a better writer when I'm having fun. Yeah. So because I want to write the best thing possible, I'm like, okay, we've got to be happy. We've got to be like at least in a good mood. Yeah. And so I also do things that's kind of why I do all the working out and the stuff, because I feel happier. And so then I can sit down and I enjoy writing. So I'm like, I mean, on certain days, some days it's not fun and you feel like garbage, but like that helps me have fun. Although sometimes I do look up and I'm like, what's the point?
Oh my God, yeah.
But that's all.
That's been my entire week.
That's hard.
3 weeks.
But I also think just like, oh my God, talking about storytelling can sound so corny, but it's like, hit it. Storytelling is so, it's like.
Okay, so storytelling, as a storyteller, it's just
like getting to write a script. And the thought that someone could read it and really love it, and that I feel like is so cool and so fun. And thinking about what if it did get made, you know? Yeah. And believing it could, that whole thing, I feel like pushes me to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But
that's a good perspective.
I just want stuff made.
I
want to get stuff made.
I want stuff made. I love to like talk to people. I love to, okay, I don't know if this is why you create, but I feel like the most satisfying thing in the world is for me to say something like through whatever medium and then people be like, yeah, you're right. Like that is, I feel that. Like I get that because I feel like I feel crazy all the time. Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because like life is so insane and like everything that happens to you doesn't make any sense. And so I feel like people don't talk about that enough.
Yeah. And I think also, well, I bet most people feel this way, but I also think people who are drawn to the profession that we have are people who feel crazy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Just like trying to interpret everything. But I agree, it's very gratifying, especially because like our work is what we put everything into. So then when people respond to it positively, it's like, oh my God. It's like thank you. Yeah. Like I kind of think about that also, where like, if I hopefully have like a long career in entertainment or whatever, I feel like my work is like, it's all you need to know about me. Do you feel that way? Where it's like, I feel like, I mean, like in your stand-up or like, it's like, this is like most of what I think about, you know? Yeah. It's like, I think it's very telling, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that if somebody likes my work, then they get me. Like that is like the biggest indicator. Like in like a dating context, for example, like that's like the biggest like threshold. Like if you, it's not like, oh, I think you're funny. It's like, oh, I get what you're doing. Yeah. Like then I'm like, okay, you get me.
Do you ever feel, well, I guess, I was going to say, do you ever feel like people don't get you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
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 All the time.
Clip that.
Yeah. Do you have a time you're thinking of where people don't get you?
The one that comes to mind first is like people not getting why I was making like not funny video diaries and being like, that feels like a waste of time. Like, this is stupid. And I'm like, this is how I think. Like, this is how I behave most of the time. Like, I'm not one of the comedians who is like always on. I'm very off sometimes. And so, and also I really value, or content creators I have looked up to, and I always think of like Jenna Marbles. It's like someone who like I used to watch for a long, long time.
Yeah.
What I valued so much about people like her was their like honesty and willingness to be like completely themselves and like, okay, well, this is also something I want to do. So sometimes when people don't get that, or I don't know.
Do people say something to you? Like,
I've had people close to me be like, that's a waste of time. And I'm like, okay, but then I think they see that it's not later or like whatever. But I don't know. But I do feel that.
Are those people that you like trust, or is that more like
Yeah, but I think it's just people with different tastes than me. And I have like, I think some of my friends and I have different like business strategies with what we're doing. Because I think everyone does. It's interesting. I don't know.
Well, I think the internet is so interesting in that way because it's like so uniquely you. Like, honestly, I love your video diaries. I was going to ask you about them because what I love about them too, like I just watching them, I'm like, oh, I'm like jealous.
Oh.
Because I'm like, this is you're not locking yourself into the box of I have to be funny. And I think that pressure sometimes gets to me where I'm like, oh, I wish I could be more than just funny. Like I like to your point, like I don't always want to be funny. And like I do my series where I do like the slow zoom videos. So sometimes when I feel like that's like not necessarily like haha funny all the time, or those can take different forms. But it's like, yeah, I think like if you're an artist, which is something that I'm always trying to be, and I think you always have to like work at to be like honest with where you are.
Yeah.
I think the things that you want to talk about come out in different ways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I also think that, and also sometimes there's a skill I want to work on. Like for the video diaries, it's mostly an editing skill. Like I enjoy playing with the and it's not any like crazy professional editing, but just like I like playing with timing, and I love like Emma Chamberlain's style of editing and getting to do something more like that, because with like social media editing, it is fast. It is really fast. And my video diaries are really slow. Like I try to keep it very quiet and just paced calmly. Like I want them to feel calm.
Right.
And so that came from a desire to also just to get, I shoot like documentary footage basically for B-roll, which is so fun. Like I realized I really like doing that. So I do think in my head, it's like, okay, I love comedy, and comedy writing is the core of my career. But then on the outside of that, I also really love like shooting video and editing. And so there's a way to I can do it in a way that's not. Also, I always think of like, there are so many, I guess there's not so many, but like multi-hyphenates who do like music and TV acting and writing. And like, I'm always inspired by those people, because imagine you're like a comedian and you're like, I'm going to do music. Most people would be like, don't. Do you know what I mean? Most people are like, don't do that. But if you want to and you feel like that's something that moves you, you should just do it. There's no reason to pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah. I also think that the artists with like the longest run and the biggest impact are people who don't lock themselves into the one thing.
Definitely.
Like I always think about the Beatles, where like they just like where they started and where they ended is so different. Like their sound. I mean, obviously it's all music, but like I think what they did so well is just being like true creators and like following what they were interested in.
Totally.
And that's something that I always try and challenge myself to do. But it's also like with TikTok and Instagram, it's like,
it's actually like the antithesis of it.
Exactly.
It makes it so much hard. And that's, I mean, I really struggle with that, like on a daily basis of like putting out short videos, because it's just the opposite of what I feel like I want to be doing. But it is also how you get exposure and paid and all these things. So, or at least some people see it as like a means to an end, which like I get that, and maybe that is what it is. But it is really hard to balance both things.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
How long have you been posting on YouTube?
On YouTube, I started posting on YouTube maybe a year ago.
Oh, okay.
But it was like I'm very lucky because YouTube is very hard to like build a following on. And when I was with American High, we developed like a really large following there. Yeah. And so then when I started posting my own stuff, it was very much like, oh, that's the girl from the stuff.
Yeah.
And so they started following me from knowing my face, because we were very big on YouTube, which applies to all of the American High. Like we've had a much like a frictionless time building followings there, which is extremely lucky. But yeah, I started a year ago, but I didn't start posting long videos till January. Long.
Okay.
They're like 5 minutes.
Well,
it's long.
Yeah.
People call
really
it long form now.
No, that's literally like I'm watching a feature film.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. Well, what was funny to me was I was making like 4-minute video diaries, and everyone was like, these are the perfect length. And I was like, you don't want longer? I was like, 4 minutes is fine. Okay. But like, it is a long time to pay attention now. Like, I get it.
Wait, so are you mostly focusing your energy now on YouTube, or do you also kind of just split everything up?
I don't know. I'm trying my best to put my energy everywhere. So it's like YouTube. Well, I'm trying to make a web series that will be on YouTube, hopefully in September or October.
Great.
Vibes. Vibes. And if I wasn't doing that, I would probably be doing like more 10-minute short films every month. But I just can't do everything at the same time. So web series for YouTube. Socials, I'm trying to get by over there. I'm trying to get by.
That's fair.
And then I'm like trying to really focus on writing a feature and trying to get it made, because I feel like if I had a script that I loved, I could get it made.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to work on, something bigger. I want to work on something where I get to like collaborate with people, and and I really want to direct something. Like, I'm directing my stuff now, but I want to direct something bigger. And
that's great.
What about you? What are you trying to focus on? The script.
The script for like the next 10 days.
Okay.
And then, which I don't think I'm going to finish it in time, but then.
Why 10 days? Oh, that was just
That was just my internal.
You wanted to finish the full script in 10 days?
A draft.
Like a first draft?
First draft. I'm already like 20 pages in, but I keep rewriting
You got to stop doing that.
Okay.
You like literally. Okay. Sorry. I don't know anything, but I do know.
No, but you do, I think.
I do know that I think, and I think about this all the time. The first draft can be so bad.
It has
You have
to be
to give
bad.
yourself permission to write something so bad,
Yeah.
because you won't write anything and this is my problem with stand-up. This is why I don't write stand-up, because I want it to be good immediately.
Oh, yeah.
That's my struggle. But with a script, I feel a level of comfort that draft 1, nobody has to read. No one has to read it.
That's true.
Just finish it, and you can walk away from it for 2 days, a week, come back, read it, be like, whoa, that's bad. And just go in and reorganize and change and like whatever. Second draft, I feel like, is more fun, because you get to go in and make it something readable, you know?
Right.
But the first draft is just like,
just throw stuff down.
Yeah.
I think I'm like definitely a perfectionist, and like that's the thing that kind of stops me.
Do you know how the script ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the whole beat sheet.
Okay.
Actually, maybe we should talk about it.
We should talk about it.
I want your opinion on
Okay.
it. How do you know, or how do you like tap into like your creativity? Like, where do you know where to go next, I guess?
That's a good question. I feel like with comedy specifically, I'm always trying to just like write the most unexpected next thing. And so I think I ask myself that over and over when I'm writing something. I'm like, what would not happen next? Or like what would no one else think to put next? And then that's kind of how I entertain myself. And then also, yeah, just writing dialogue that I try to make myself laugh.
Yeah.
Typically. Mike Birbiglia said this thing that honestly messed me up. It messed me up, because he was like, when you write something and you're like, yeah, that's funny, people will like that.
It's never
good.
I heard
but
that,
if you laugh out loud at your own thing, it's probably good. It's and at the very least, you know you like it.
Yeah.
And so I'm always trying to like get myself to physically laugh when I'm writing. But I love like, I'm very woo-woo about creativity.
Yeah.
Very Rick Rubin, very David Lynch. Like,
yeah.
you got to go in. And so I also just try to like be in like a very receiving mode. Because I think it does just like come to you, you know? And also if you're writing something, it's so crazy. You could be writing like a character's conversation, and it's like you're improvising with yourself, which I guess is just writing. But it's like you're just coming up with lines as you're and I think that's just something like gifting you over and over and over again, and trying to just be like grateful for that. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who was it that prayed? Stephen Pressfield prays before he writes.
Do you pray?
No, I think I'd like to start. I kind of like it's kind of part of my meditation.
Mm.
But his mindset is like, when you're writing, you are basically like hoping the muses and the creative gods are nice to you that day. So it doesn't hurt to be like, please, I appreciate you so much. Like, please help me find something today.
Aww.
And then like write. I don't do that, but I think it's a lovely practice that I wish I did.
Wait, so how do you deal with negative self-talk?
I've been working on that for a really long time. Do you have bad negative self-talk?
So bad.
Okay. I used to have the worst negative self-talk like ever. It was like debilitating.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think what did it was in college I really wanted to be cool.
Mm.
I wanted to be cool in high school, but I was actually like aggressively not cool and unliked. But like but
why?
I don't know. I was just like a little nerd and I was so anxious. I was the most anxious person you've ever met in your life.
Aww.
And then in college, I was like, okay, I don't want to be anxious anymore. I want people to like me. I want to be cool. How do I be cool? And the same way of like hijacking your body, I was like, who do I think is cool? And I thought about people I think are cool. And what I feel like is cool about people so consistently is when they don't care about what someone else thinks of them, and you can just tell immediately that they don't care. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try not caring so much.
Yeah.
And then that started as like a practice for like how people perceive me, but then it turned into me just kind of like relaxing into my body a little bit. And also I talk to myself like I'm another person often.
You have schizophrenia?
Yeah. People
Oh, that's so cute.
I regularly like, I have a dynamic with myself that's like, there's two people here and I've got to be supportive of her and help her, because like it's so corny self-help, but like you wouldn't scream at your friend.
No.
And you wouldn't be like, you're so fucking stupid, like why can't you do this thing? You'd never say that to anybody. And also if you like if someone said something like that to you, like a boss or something, that doesn't make you work better. Like I used to have I've had bosses and coaches who were like really verbally harsh, and it did not help. Like it didn't help me. I would just freak out. So I try to just like have a good friendly relationship with myself, almost like to a crazy standpoint. Like it is to hijack. It's all an effort to hijack my being.
To like have control over.
Yeah, I want control.
Yeah.
And when I start to lose control, then it goes down really, really fast. Which is, I think, why I take it so seriously.
Right, that's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I want to read the Julia book because I need to do exactly what you're doing. Cause
it's fun though. It's fun to be your own friend.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's nice. And also, like, if you can, I like laughing by myself. Like if someone says something stupid or if you overhear a conversation, just like, you can talk to yourself about it. I don't mind. Like I like being alone. It's fun.
Have you always liked being alone, or is that a new thing?
When I was a child, my sister would get in fights regularly because she always wanted to like hang out, and I was like, please just leave me alone. But when I was a kid, I used to, for fun, walk in silent circles around our living room. And my sister would be like, she's doing her circles again. Like, what is she doing? and
That's so nuts. Dude, if your parents thought you were possessed, like, they were like,
no, they thought I was weird.
Yeah.
They thought I was weird. They tried to put me in martial arts to, like, calm me down.
You're like, no, just let me do my circles.
I just need to do my circles.
You're like, I actually know what I need, and it's like me walking alone in circles.
Well, you know what I thought of also was when I was a really little kid, maybe like 6, 7, 8, I fully had imaginary friends that I would talk to. And now I'm an adult who talks to herself. And I'm like, I think that's what that is.
Sure.
I developed an internal dialogue with like imaginary animals when I was a child. And now I still have that desire to like talk to somebody. So it's just me now.
Wait, that probably helps your writing so much, though.
It does. It helps a lot.
Yeah, because you just don't. I feel like because I need other people to sort of ground me. But if you don't need that.
I feel like it can be extremely helpful. And sometimes when I write alone for too long, I'm like, where are the other people I need help? And it can be so helpful to talk stuff out. I think I like a balance of like working alone and then dipping out for feedback and then coming back in. But I'll like regularly go for a walk and like put like earphones in and record voice memos and be like, okay, what's going on? And like talk out the script, which I find really helpful.
Is that kind of how you do the video diaries? Or is that just everything?
No, the video diaries. Oh, you mean like
come up with the ideas for them?
I actually just will sit in front of my camera for 40 minutes and talk and then skip through it, be like, oh, let's omit that. We don't need that in there. Like, that's too personal. Oh, that's interesting. And then keep that. So there's a lot of extra footage. There's like so much. Because, I mean, it's funny because I never think about how I'm feeling before I shoot it. So for me, it is like, I'm sitting in front of the camera like, okay, wait, how am I feeling? Like, I don't know how I'm feeling. Let's figure it out. And then there's usually like 10 minutes of me sitting in silence being like, huh. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, here's something. I don't have any money. and then I'll say that.
You're like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you feel like do you ever worry that you're getting I'm not saying this because so what I love about like especially your most recent one is that like it's a topic like you talked about your like financial state and feeling like just that's like obviously very personal. Do you ever feel like the weight of that? Or does it feel good to just get it out?
I feel like with stand-up, having done stand-up, like the worry about stuff being so personal, I'm sure you get it. It's like, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I think, putting it on YouTube feels a little bit more permanent because it's like there. But also, I'm very honest with myself about what I am and am not comfortable with. Like, that was the exact amount of personal information I'm comfortable sharing about like my finances and my state, whatever. And I try to just walk the line of like how personal can it be without making me uncomfortable. But what I find and what I really like is like when I meet someone and they're like, I love your video diaries, it means so much to me because that's a much more authentic version of who I am. And I don't feel a weight from it. I think, what I will say is I do get addicted to reading the comments of the video diary because it's great. People are so positive, but they're so positive that I'm like, I want more. Like, say more nice things about me. Right. Say as many nice things about me as possible.
Like you.
It feels like they feel like they know me. I feel like they know me. Yeah. And I want them to keep complimenting me. So I will obsessively check like the comments of that, which I'm trying to get better about. Yeah. But of course, it's nice to have a support system and it's nice to have people who believe in you. But it is like, I don't know. And then there's other stuff that I do want to talk about. Like we're talking about how the video diaries aren't funny. I really want to talk about spirituality somewhere. Yeah. I don't and I would love to in my video diaries, but I have all this pent up fear that like then people will tune out and be like, we don't want that. And maybe that's the same insecurity that like someone not wanting to make something that's not funny feels, because to me it feels so opposite of funny.
But I also wonder sometimes if you because you're like a funny person and you express yourself through
I can
humor.
Make it funny. Yeah.
So like sometimes even if you start talking about something, like then you find the punchline. Like I'll often start with like a serious topic and then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, this is funny now because I like the more serious it is sort of like my natural instinct is like my defense is to like add a punchline, subvert it, like be self-deprecating.
Yeah, I totally get that.
So like it does come back around.
How do you write stand-up?
Talking to people. Like every once in a while I'll be, or like when I'm falling asleep, I'll think of an idea when my brain is just sort of like flowing away. And it's like,
sorry, so the other day I did something insane and I don't know if you'd like this. This is so, I can't believe it. Okay. I was high because, it was night.
You're allowed.
Time, and that's legal. The thing people do. I was high and then I was also like, what was I doing? I was working on my feature. This is gonna make me sound so crazy. I have an eye mask because my room is really bright, and I was like, I'm gonna put my eye mask on and like headphones on and listen to like instrumental music and just try to like find ideas in like this dark thing, and it worked really well and it was interesting.
Can I just say that is way less weird than you talking to yourself.
Like that's less weird. Okay,
I think the weirdest thing you've said so far is you walking in circles in your dining room as a child,
and that's still how I come up with stuff.
Yeah,
and it all comes back. It all trickles back.
No, listen. What's good about you is that you have a lot of methods.
Yeah, I love methods,
and you're willing to like try everything.
Well, I think it's so like Rick Rubin's Creative. Have you read Creative?
I'm halfway through it and it's literally, I need to start reading it.
No,
Because
I'm
when I
also,
feel
like,
blocked, I like read it a little
but
bit.
it's that was the first time I ever thought about like how people have a process. And one of the things he said that I always remember I haven't done was he was like, what if you like punched a pillow for like 3 minutes before you started writing? Like, what would that do to your emotional state and like your brain? And it's just like there's so many random things you can try.
Right.
And I like trying stuff and seeing if it works. And sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does.
Yeah. I mean, like in like a playwriting class I took, they were like, yeah, try writing to music, try doing like this.
Do you write to
this.
music?
Not anymore because I'll listen to music while I'm writing depending on the environment I'm in. Sometimes, yeah, like having music on just like keeps me like focused kind of like, in the zone unless it's late at night. And then it's so silent and my phone isn't going to be going off because it's late at night. No one's texting me. And so I'm like, oh, I can actually like be here.
That makes sense. Sometimes I write in silence. I like writing in silence. I use music a lot though.
Yeah.
But it does just depend on how you're feeling at that moment.
Right. And I guess it depends on like if I needed to like do a totally new project from scratch, then maybe I would sort of like try and like listen to music and see like what happened, I guess.
I think I try to use music to get into like a locked in thing. Because I'll use like fast tempo music to like kind of create like a fake Adderall effect of like we're here.
Yeah,
we're in
here,
it.
we're doing it.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I do to get myself in the zone? Before I sit down to write something, I'll do sort of like a dump of like all my feelings. And that's actually how I come up with like a lot of my like slow Zoom videos, which is sort of my version of like the diary thing. So it's like, but it's just so because I feel like if I'm not in touch completely with like everything that I'm dealing with, if I'm trying to put anything aside without addressing it, then I can't fully be with
I totally get that.
The thing that I'm doing.
Yeah. Because you have to be very present when you're writing. So it's like if you're ignoring something. I get that.
Yeah. Wait, so what do you feel like you do want to say about your spirituality?
I think it's something that I always fear that, especially people in our age group, we've like abandoned spirituality because we've seen religion be very either, divisive. That's not the right word. Divisive. Or like I was raised Catholic and I like not experienced, but like just couldn't wrap my head around it or how it made sense to me. But then also when you like break down the numerical odds that any of us are alive, it's like, well, that's crazy. Yeah. It's like none of us are supposed to be here. And so that makes me think like, okay, well, there's clearly something's going on. And I think it gives me so much peace to put energy into that part of my life where it's like I see so many of my friends who are either depressed or feel directionless. And to me, it's so hard to be like, you need God. Like, you can't say that. And I also don't use the word God, but like that's the most common. But like, I so badly want to just like put people on to onto spirituality because like feeling connected to something that's bigger than you, I feel like makes you feel so much more grounded and like at ease. And it also is like part of the reason why I'm able to be nicer to myself because it's not like we're both gonna die. We're both gonna die. And, whatever movies we make, those will be great. But then one day nobody's going to care anymore. Yeah. So it's like, why are we stressing ourselves out so much? Just write because it's fun and make stuff because it's fun. And then everything else is whatever. And it's all good.
And you feel like a belief in like a bigger thing helps you have that context?
Totally. I feel like, because it makes me feel like Julia's life is not all that big a deal. Yeah. And I don't have to like be on edge all the time. Because, like, I haven't done stand-up in a month. It's okay. You can do stand-up tomorrow. Like, this is not that serious. The stakes are not that high. And I recognize that I think it's common for people to have thoughts like this when they've had a very easy life, which I have. But I also believe in everything I'm saying at the same time. Like, I don't think it's, like, luck or whatever. But I don't know. I just think it brings people so much peace, the people who do practice something. Yeah. And also that, like, to me, it's like, is this crazy? Whatever. Every religion's trying to do the same thing. every religion's trying to interpret the same information just differently, just with different words and different rituals and traditions. But ultimately, it's like understanding the same completely impossible to understand thing. You know what I mean? So I find that very interesting. I think religions are very interesting.
Have you ever met God? Have you ever communed? Or like had some like spiritual sort of like moment?
I think like the closest I've ever gotten is probably on psychedelics.
Let's go. That's a common answer. I think.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah, but not on psychedelics.
Okay. What was yours?
I was at the Western Wall in Jerusalem. I'm Jewish. And I walked up to the wall and I was having a really bad day. And I thought, and I was kind of annoyed because I was like, oh, this like should mean a lot to me, but it's like not gonna, because I was like annoyed at the circumstances of the day and it was like hot and whatever. And I like walked up to the wall and I start sobbing, like uncontrollably sobbing. And I remember feeling like I was being hugged by my mother. Like that's the only feeling I can compare it to. And I was like clutching the wall. And like, I remember there's like a tradition where you write down like your prayers essentially, but like wishes like on a piece of paper and you can put them in a crack in the wall. And I remember I wrote down like, I want to live without fear. And I don't know why I wrote that down. I wasn't even like thinking about that so much, but then I don't know. I was just like, okay, I want to live without fear. And I like put that in the wall and I just felt like overwhelmingly like everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like just just washing over me. And I was just like, I'm not a religious person at all. And I kind of just like put that in a box on the side of my life because I don't really know what to do with that single experience. But but then I started asking people about stuff like that after that happened to me. And I was like, and a lot of people have had something like that.
Yeah. And I think that like psychedelics, very common. I also think that is a big reason a lot of people meditate is because to like go there. But just like as regularly as possible, because otherwise I think it's really hard. And also I don't know if you ever feel this way, but like once you have an experience like that, getting really frustrated that it's not happening again, or that you want it to happen again and it's like not. Because I feel that way. I've only done psychedelics like a handful of times, but I do know how like at ease I feel in those moments. And then when I'm not at ease, I'm like, why can't I just be like that all the time? Forget even tripping on something. Just the next day, I feel like unbelievable. I'm like, well, great. Life's beautiful. This is awesome. Why can't we just stay there and keep the hug going? But I do think that's almost a part of my practice is also just kind of like consistent talking with something. So me, but then also like universe, power, higher power, whatever. And I really feel like if you talk regularly or like look regularly for direction and answers, you get it almost every day. Like it's very interesting to me.
So wait, can I have an example of that?
Like it'll be in synchronicities.
Okay.
Like and it happens more the more in it I am. The more in my spirituality I am. I notice more conversations. Like there was an example was like I think this is a random example, but I was like doing something at home and I think someone asked me, I was supposed to write for a class I was taking. I was taking like a life coaching class, and it was like write down your dream life in like 5 years. And so I was writing my dream life and I was like, okay, I have a dog and my dog's name is Bo. That was it. And I was like, okay. I did the whole exercise and then I went to a coffee shop to like go read my book. And like page 1, I had a dog named Bo. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, that's weird. That's weird. And when enough things like that happen over and over and over again, I kind of take it as like a little like ding, 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 you're doing okay. Like we got you. Here's a little sign that like you're doing fine and everything's on track and like you don't have to freak out. And so I feel like the more aware I am of those things, and it'll happen too where like you're thinking about someone and they text you.
That
like,
happens to me so much.
You know, it's like I always think of it as like a little message, and it could mean anything, but I just like I feel better interpreting things as meaningful, you know, like those little messages. I like doing that.
I do think there's like a collective consciousness at play. That's like a big Rick Rubin thing that I always think about, where like
you're me, I'm you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and actually, yeah. Wait, bars?
Well, that's wait, sorry, you were talking.
No, but like he made a point where it was like that thing of like, if you don't make the thing, someone else will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like, so when I have an idea, I really am like, what I love about the internet is you can like really act on something very quickly. And because what I'm identifying, which I don't have 100% hit rate, of course, but like when it hits, it's like that's because we're all thinking about this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, this is a moment. Like I made a joke about YouTube and boys watching YouTube, and now I'm seeing like a lot of people talking about that topic, because this is like a cultural thing that's happening in our existence that I happen to observe. But it's like stuff like that. It's like, okay, so if I hadn't made that joke, someone else would have.
Totally.
So it's like,
I totally believe that.
But it's like, it kind of like helps me like push it out, because it's also like, you don't need to make it perfect, you just have to say it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was thinking about this idea for like a vertical series, and I got coffee with someone and they were like, do you want to act in this vertical series I'm doing? And it was exactly what I wanted to do, and I was like, can't. I was like, can't, I'm gonna do it.
Wait, did that freak you out though? Because
because it wasn't even the first person to bring it up. It was like, I think with especially the digital space, there's sort of these races to the finish of like who can do this thing first. But a lot of times, and this isn't in reference to that person, but a lot of times I think some people want to do it, but it's like, I think I can do it better. And I'm like,
yeah, but you have to believe that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can do it better, and I can do it before you. And so
yeah, but you have to do it. But I think the real thing is not even just like better, but it's like you do it the way you would do it.
Yeah, my way. I do it with my voice, and like also just trusting yourself. But you want to just get to it quickly. Yeah, I hate putting stuff off. I've had this pilot idea for 3 years,
bro.
It like won me a competition in college, and my friends are like, when are you making it? I'm like, I will, but I feel so much resistance to it. I think because I love the idea and I hold it so precious that I'm like, I'm so afraid someone else is gonna make it.
Right, and you don't want to mess it up. Well, that's the thing that I'm having trouble with my script, because I'm like, I want it. I've had the idea for a long time at this point, and I want to make it like it still feels relevant and active, and I'm just like, oh God, I just got to make this thing.
Yeah.
But I like, because I've had it for so long, I like want it to be so good.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's the thing that.
How many pages do you have?
I have like 20.
And it's 35 or 40? How many pages are you going to?
Oh, I'm going to like full length, yeah.
Oh, okay, an hour. Okay, so it's not a sitcom.
Like, no. This is like a movie.
Oh, it's a movie. I thought you were doing a pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's a full. Okay, gotcha. Whatever.
I mean, like, yeah, but like, no, that's something else. I know. This the thing that I've decided I'm gonna do first and just actually do.
You were trying to finish a feature in 10 days.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Oh, that's crazy.
No, it's not crazy. That's just really, it's like hard. That's so hard. But I mean, if
life's hard.
If it's a vomit draft, like that is, you can do it in 10 days. But it's like,
how long should I give myself?
I don't know. Everyone's different. Some people are like, yeah, I take a year to write a feature, and I'm like, that's crazy.
That's too long.
Too long. Sorry.
Just write it.
Sorry, that's too long.
No, just write it. But these things can't take that long. Like, just write it. Like, you have to rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it.
Well, I also just like, I think I don't have enough writing experience to like criticize people's writing flow, but I do think I think people can like be too go with the flow about it, and it's like, when it comes to me, whatever, but it's like, you gotta just sit down and do it.
Yeah,
you know, you gotta like.
I also think people are too precious about their ideas, because they're like, this is my one idea. But the other Rick Rubin thing is that like there's ideas.
So many ideas. Are you precious about your work? Like, how do you take feedback? Are you good with feedback?
I'm bad with feedback.
Okay.
I'm
terrible.
I'm getting please, I'll freak out, I'll cry. No, I'm getting better at it. I think, okay, so I will say that doing stand-up has given me so many skills. One of them is rejection therapy, not killing my babies, not being precious with my work. Same thing with the internet in general. Like, you just have to make so much of it that it's like any one thing is like not gonna make or break. So I think that that's given me a lot of perspective, but there are certain things, like depending on the project, like getting feedback is still really hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a few people that I like trust with my entire life.
Yeah.
That I openly and aggressively want feedback from because I know that they get what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like Max Zavidow, like he's basically the only person. Like I would give him my login information, you know, but like that's probably the only person I would ever do that for. Do you have people like that?
Yeah, I have specifically like creatively. There's a handful of people that I really, really trust who like know my voice, and I trust to be like completely honest with me because my worst nightmare is asking someone to give me notes and like they sugarcoat and I'm like,
oh yeah,
because I know not everything I write is good. I know that, and so I require people to be like completely honest with me and be like, if this page is not funny, you have to tell me that it sucks. And they're like, okay. And usually I have people who will do that.
But also you have to know that they get what you're going for.
Yes.
And like understand your voice. And I think a lot of people who give feedback or other creative people, like they'll give you a note the way that they would have done it.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, yeah, or it's too much from their perspective. So it's hard to find someone that can like see what you're doing. Like I've only had like 2 people in my entire life that like.
Bill Hader said something about like script writing when he was doing Barry, which was like when a friend reads your script and thinks something is bad and like offers a solution you don't like, their solution is probably the wrong solution, but the problem is probably a problem.
Yeah.
Like
Judd Apatow said that too.
Okay, maybe it was Judd Apatow and not Bill Hader. But it's like I find that really helpful too. Where like someone last night was fighting me. we were like laughing and it was funny, but I was like pitching him my feature, what I had so far in my outline, and he knows the real life version of what I'm writing. And he was like, the real life version is way better than like what you're writing. And it was trying to get me to move in this other more realistic thing. And I was like, well, I don't want to go that realistic with it. But then he left and I was like stuck with this problem of I was like, okay, he brought up these things. I don't think what he wants is what I want to do. Yeah. But I think he brings up a relevant problem that needs to be fixed. Yeah. And from that, I was able to come up with a solution that I really like. But I wouldn't have known that if he didn't like push back and was like, I think this is stupid.
Yeah. Well, I do think though that's an interesting point, which is I feel like the real version of the thing is always the best.
Yes, there are certain reasons I'm not doing the real version of the thing.
That's totally fair.
It's just honestly, it's
and
either
I believe you.
Too niche or too specific. Not specific because I know specific is better. It's just like it's just too much. So and also, it's like about people in my life. So you don't wanna... I have to keep things certainly a certain level of discreet.
Wait, how do you handle that? You try and fictionalize things?
Well, I mean, I haven't made a lot of things so far in my life that are based on reality. The plan with this is if it gets made, just let people know.
And also it'll be so long from now that maybe it won't matter as much.
Yeah. It's like
without knowing anything about what you're talking about, I'm like, it won't matter. And you're like, no.
I also think it's important to me if I'm writing about someone in my life, I can do that as long as I'm not, first of all, not vilifying them, like making them, like I don't want to make anyone in my life look like a terrible person. Right. Most of my work, I'm making me the idiot, like, and I'm the asshole most of the time. But also, if it's something I experienced it. Sorry. Yeah. I'm a writer. Sorry, I'm going to write about it. Like, it's in my experience. I don't want to make anyone look like a bad person. But if I'm telling a story that happened to me, I feel like that's fair game. Yeah. You know? As long as, the intention's good.
Have you had, like, tough conversations with people before?
Not yet. I think about it. I think part of me was really itching to get to the conversation because I was just also really morbidly curious what they would say. But now I'm like...
Is it, like, romantic or family or...?
Romantic. I was advised to not say anything until the project is financed. And I was like, that's a good call.
I think so. Yeah. There's no reason to, like...
No reason. Because also, it'll just mess me up while I'm writing it. Like, I don't need to mess with that.
Unless...
It's additional story. Yes. And in the end, she makes a movie about it. And she asks
that's the movie.
Yeah.
Having a conversation with my ex for the movie. Yeah. Do you ever do stuff for the plot like that?
I used to more. I think, also, have you had to have tough conversations with people?
Yeah.
About, like, stand-up?
Well, most internet because I pull for my life.
Oh, so do you do that often where you're like, hey, is this cool?
I've started now sending stuff to people before I post it. If I like mention something, I always anonymize anything. Like, there's no way anyone but that person would know.
They know, definitely.
But they know if they're watching. So something I realized recently, when I first started, I was like, well, no one cares and no one would ever know that it's about them. And you'd have to be crazy to think this is about you. Like, even if it is.
And then people immediately knew.
Immediately, like, text me. And then I was like, people were coming out of the woodwork to be like, yeah, like, I know that was about me. People where I was like a year later, like, somebody was like, oh, yeah, that video about me. And I was like, that's crazy because we met once and I didn't think you would know. But yeah, so that I have, if it's a relationship that I care about, I've started sending the video first. Just be like, hey, by the way, I want to post it. If the people want to have an issue with me, regardless, they will still find a way to make it my problem later. You mean like they say it's okay and then they make it a problem later? Yes. Oh, well, that's no fair. Yeah, and that's how I feel.
What are we doing?
I'm like, I tried to do
when they said yes, where they were like, fine, you can post it.
No,
like, there's like, it's fine.
Recently, someone was like, oh yeah, go for it. And then like 2 days later was like, literally, I hate you and you should die. And I was like, wait, fuck. Damn it.
You tricked me.
Not again.
That's no fair.
Yeah, I think people are just like sensitive about hearing my perspective of them. But I think in my mind, I'm not doing anything that's like real. Like by the time it's on the, like, of course it's inspired by my life, but the punchline and is rooted in honesty or my perspective. But it's like, it's so my perspective. It's like, you know, it's just not real. Like, and like, yes, I'm saying my perspective, but like, you can have your perspective. So I don't.
Yeah, you're totally.
It's not.
You can post the same thing. You can say your version, post it. I don't care. Yeah.
No reverse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I like a lot of the people that I talk about, like there's like one person in particular that I joke with him because he's like, I always am doing videos about him. They always go really viral. He's like my muse. And he and I joke about that. But now, like, what's good about that though, and why I feel so comfortable creating with like stuff that happens between the two of us, is because first of all, he's hilarious and I love him, but also because like I know he has a good sense of humor about it, so I don't feel like nervous doing it. So I don't know.
That makes sense.
But I guess that's good that you just create more like.
I also just remembered the only other version of that is with my parents, is like making jokes about my parents on stage and them like either not being cool with it or not liking what I'm saying about them. But I had to explain to them that like, no one believes what I'm saying is real.
That's true.
You know, it's not, even if it is real or if it's not, like, it's all fictional. Right. Like I had a joke about my dad being racist and he got really upset. And what I tried to explain to him was like, the ultimate punchline is that I'm also racist, which is not true. Like, I'm saying it about me. It's not real. Right. You know, it's like this whole thing is jokes. So I think it took them a little bit of time to come around and realize that. But now they seem much better about it, much more understanding that nothing I say is true. Like I have this story that I do in stand-up about me doing anal. I've never done anal. And my parents were like, don't put that one on the internet. And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not real. Yeah.
It does not matter.
Yeah. No, I say I cheated like on.
Yeah, I have a joke where I say I cheated.
I've never cheated on anyone in my life. I would rather die than do that. That sounds horrible.
I took a guy on a date one time. Well, okay. He asked me.
Wait, sorry, what?
He asked me
out. I took a guy on a date.
No, what the thing was,
mommy.
It was a second date, and I was not living in the city at the time. I had a show, so he was like, "Oh, I'll come to your show," and I was like, "So he came to my show," and I was like, "Okay."
Nightmare.
And it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
and
never do that again.
No, never happening again.
That's a huge mistake.
But I did a joke about me having like an STD.
Let's go.
And afterward, he was like, "Hey, so like, do you have one?" And I had to be like, I used to.
I was chlamydia one time.
When I wrote it, I did. Don't now. But he was very concerned.
I love that he was concerned. That's so funny.
It came up almost immediately after I left.
He was thinking about that the whole time. He was sitting in the back like, no. She's pretty. I want to hit. Damn it.
Yeah, that was a really bad second date. We had a great first date, and then second date was like nightmare.
Why? Just because of the show?
Just no chemistry was just off. Like first date, it felt fine. Second date, I was like, I don't like this at all. This is bad.
Well, I will say, bringing a guy to your show, that'll root him out.
Oh yeah,
weed him out really quick.
I think like I can't have someone I'm seeing come to a show anytime soon.
No.
Like, I don't want them to come to a show.
It's your work.
Yeah.
That's not where they belong.
it doesn't feel like a safe place at that point. Like,
no, yeah, and then you have to like not only are you performing for an audience and you're like doing your jokes and whatever new bits you want to try, whatever the case may be, but then you also have to be like, oh well, if I bomb this fucking guy who's
like,
never
that was good.
seen me before,
yeah,
and like, because my thing is when people that I know come to my shows, it's not that I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't want to bomb, because it's like, you know, bombing's part of it. It's like, I don't want them to think that I'm embarrassed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
Because I'm like, this is just, you know, like sometimes the crowds are off and like, but I don't want you to like feel like, oh no, like I'm just like, no, this is part of it. Like I was doing new bits, like that one didn't work. It's fine. Like it's a bar show, you know.
You know how I combat that is, especially if I like, I'm pretty either like the audience is bad or I'm having an off day and I'm like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
If like a friend's at a show, I tell myself like, I'm just going to be the most composed person on stage they've ever seen. And like, even if it's going terribly, I'm like scarily calm because then at least they can be impressed by that. I'm like, at least they'll be like, well, she's got a good stage presence, even if my jokes aren't working. So I'll just be like so really chill. And then that makes me feel like slightly better. But especially, of course, it's not fun to like not do well in front of people, you know. That is the worst. That is the worst feeling. Oh, I did a show. My sister came to a show. I did so bad. It was like a pro show that I should not have been on.
Okay.
It was at the Stand. It was like a past show at the Stand that I got on accidentally. And I was really nervous, which I had no reason to be nervous. I should have just done my stuff.
Well, hindsight, yeah.
Yeah, in hindsight, of course. But
was it upstairs?
Downstairs.
Oh, okay.
I had just moved there to New York, and it was like weeks later, and I got on this show by accident, and my sister was coming, and I was like, ah! And I was so nervous, and I performed nervous, and I felt so like, and I've redeemed myself there. I think like they've seen me do better.
Yeah.
But like, that sucked because my sister was like, oh, you did good. I was like, shut up.
Dude, I hate when they come up to you and they're like, that was so, I'm like, I was there too.
Get
like,
out of
I know
here.
exactly how good or bad it was. Like,
that's the thing is you do know exactly. Well, I did a show in college, and this was funny because like I was doing the most consistent stand-up of like the comedians I went to college with. And so I felt like I had reached a point of like, I know I'm funny. I know I'm good at this. And I did this one show, and it was the first show of this kind in this location. And I like basically opened, which was stupid. And they did not laugh for 5 minutes. And I had done the exact same set the night prior and like did great and was like super
That's
happy.
always when it happens, when you're like on a hot streak and then you go and then you're like, yeah, I got this. And then they go, actually, fuck you.
But it was like, I remember people being so sad for me, or like people who were like running the show being like, that was, and I was on, it was kind of refreshing because I was like, fuck them. It's like, it's fine, like whatever, you know, it happens. But it felt good to like feel that way, which I don't feel all the time.
Yeah.
Bombing is tough.
Bombing's tough, but it's formative and it's good.
Also, in like, I feel like when I do great, I don't feel like I get anything from it. Like
really?
In terms of like editing, like I don't feel like, maybe I feel like a boost of confidence, but in terms of like, if I have a show where I do okay, I feel like I learn more about my set from that. Or like if I listen to it and I'm like, oh, I sounded like I wanted to kill myself. That's why it wasn't going well, you know? Because I can tell what the problem was.
Yeah.
Which I feel like lets me either edit more or add something. I don't know.
Okay, back to an earlier thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you're so obsessed with control?
Interesting. I feel like back to high school, I felt an extreme lack of control with like socially and academically and just like all the areas in my life. I think I wanted to be the best. I want to have the most friends. I want to get the best grades. I want to be the starting MVP player of the soccer team. Like I want all that. And I couldn't get any of that. And I found that infuriating.
You couldn't get any of those things?
No, could not. Like I couldn't get friends.
Wait, you weren't a good student?
I was a good student. I was a great student. But it was still like, I was like, there were like these, I remember, this is so stupid. Sorry, I keep like prefacing everything I'm going to say. But there was this ceremony of like, I don't know if your high school did this, but like college honors, like the Harvard Honors Award goes to, and they did that for like 20 schools. And literally every kid in like my AP English class got one except for me. And I was like, I'm the dumbest of the smart kids. Is how I felt. I was like, I'm the dumbest smart kid in this school. So it's like, I always felt like, I think a lot of growing up, I felt second best most all the time. I used to run cross country. Not kidding you. Came in second every race. Came in second to this girl who was like 2 feet taller than me. I was like, this is not fair. This is stupid. And so I think I felt second best.
Wait, that's like pretty good though if she's 2 feet taller than you and you're
I was
second.
But I think it was still infuriating to me that I was like, I want to be the best.
Yeah, and you're almost there.
And now I think I'm not as worried about being the best as doing my personal best. And so control lets me get closer to that, you know? Because it's like this is also how I feel with like I used to play the piano growing up and I was okay. I was pretty good. It was like classical piano, but I didn't practice. Like I faked my way through piano. And I say to my mom sometimes, like, I wonder how good I could have been if I tried. Yeah. And I could maybe still be able to like play the piano right now if I had cared more. And I don't want to have that attitude about my career or my life like 10 years from now where it's like, wow, what if I tried harder? That could have been cool. Yeah. I don't want to ever think that, you know? And I'd rather have like, I don't know. I think I try to be loose enough with everything that I don't feel suffocated. Because then I think it reverses. Like you said, like it's just too much.
It strangles your work.
I tend to be a pretty severe person with like how all in I go on stuff, but it's not effective. And I'm about efficiency. So it's like, I can't do that. I can't. Yeah. I have to rein it in. So yeah, I think that
talking to you is like talking to myself.
This is
like very therapeutic for me because I'm like, we have the same mindset about things. Like I didn't come from exactly the same circumstances, but like I'm the exact same way. Like I'm just like so, yeah, but it's like this constant battle of like, I want these things. How do I get to these things?
Yeah. It's hard. I also think one of the ways my spirituality works into my work life and my control stuff is detachment from things that you want, where like, and it's kind of backwards because I do it almost karmically where like I think, well, the less I want that thing, the more I'm likely to get it. And that's kind of backwards, but I do think it's true.
That's so true. I also think that when you get certain things, it's because you are already there, like, to get that thing. Like, no one who ever gets, like, the big whatevers, like, the JFL, the SNL, the blah, 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 like, any of the existing, like, sort of milestones or, like, things you can get right now in the industry. Like, I feel like once you get those things, like, every time I've gotten, like, a certain show or, like, booked on something or passed at something, like, it's because I when I get it, I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. Yeah. Like, because, like, when it would have made a difference in my life, I wasn't ready for it. Like, you have to.
I agree. And I think giving up, like, the clause on the things you want makes everything flow so much better. Yeah. And you can work better. But it's still, like, I still have that voice in my head that's like, I want to be the best. Yeah. But I also know, like, it's going to happen. Things are going to happen when they happen. Also, I think I'm getting much better at not seeing our industry as like a hierarchy because everyone just gets stuff at different times. Yeah. Everybody gets, you know, like, yeah. And that's just how it is. And back to the other thing, it's like, yeah, and then we're going to die. So you're going to get stuff at different times and then you're going to go and then it's fine. Yeah. So I think we're moving the hierarchy of it and focusing on the input of my work. Like, for example, I was trying really hard. This was like a real like active practice for me. It was like I submitted a packet to SNL and last year I did also, and I wanted to blow my brains out last year because I put so much pressure on myself and imagining like how cool it would be to get hired. And this year I was like, okay, this is gonna be an active like practice of fixing that attitude where it's like instead of spending time thinking about how cool it would be to get hired, put all of that time toward writing. Just write. Just write the best thing you can and give them the best thing you can. And everything else does not matter. It literally does not matter. Because if you're all anxious about like the outcome of the thing you're doing, it's just going to take away the work from the work, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What are you excited about?
What's next for me? The web series.
Yes.
That's next. And that's
when
really
do you
the
want
most
that to come out?
There's going to be a pilot that comes out late August, and then I
Okay.
think we're going to crowdfund after that. We're trying, like, financing is tough, but like I've been doing most of my stuff like as low budget as possible, and because this is a series, I need some cash. So we're going to crowdfund, try to get donors, try to get sponsors, whatever, and then that'll be out like August, September. Another thing I'm doing, which I really have to do, is I don't know if you saw, you probably heard, Grace made a Hunger Games parody.
Yeah, were you in that?
I was in that. I was Rue.
Dude, I'm so excited to see that.
It's awesome. I was Rue and I was Prim. And I also have
Wait, the lead?
Rue and Prim.
Wait.
Katniss.
Fuck. Wait, which is Rue? Oh, the little girl. Like the sister.
Who dies. Prim's the little sister who dies. Rue's the little girl who dies. No, Prim doesn't die. Rue dies in the games. Dies. Yeah, that's a really sad one. But I've taken on editing that project.
You're editing it?
So that is another...
Okay, that's a good birthday gift.
Yeah, well, she's paying me, so it's okay.
And I take it back.
But a reasonable rate, so it's okay.
Grace, good job.
Good friend.
Thanks.
It's a lot of work.
Huge amount of work.
But
how long is it?
So I don't know yet, but the thing is we cut a lot of stuff that was unnecessary, and also because we shot it in 3 days, we never did more than 3 takes of a thing. And because it's mostly entirely improvised,
sure,
I think it will be an easy edit because it's just like the funniest thing. What's the funniest thing? And then put that in. And I don't have to overthink
like what makes sense or how to tell the story. Like the point is that it's funny.
Yeah, and I do want to edit it like as cinematically as possible, but I just want to make the funniest thing. Yeah. And I think she'll have notes too. I'm going to probably do like a similar like first draft and then give it to her and then we go over it. But I'm really excited about that. And
she's also so naturally funny. Yeah. It's the best.
It's crazy.
I'm obsessed with her.
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you ever wish you could tap into your like goofball more? Because, okay.
If I could be Grace today, I'd be like, yeah.
Because sometimes I get really sad because I think like there's past versions of me from either like a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago where I think I embodied like more of a character to make people laugh, like more of like a clown.
Yeah.
And I think I found that really exhausting and stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, gosh, she was fun. She's fun. Where'd she go?
No, I know. I feel like people see me as like a workhorse now, and I used to be like a fun hang.
Every time I see people, I feel like they're like, you're probably really busy. I'm like, well, is that it? You just think I'm busy?
Let's hang out.
I'm also fun. We could go get drinks.
No, literally last night I met my friends and I was like, I'm going to drink tonight. And they were like, Yvette's going to drink tonight. I was like, okay, fuck. They're like, look at her go. She's so funny. I'm like, all right, well. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm trying to be more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Okay, so web series, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And stand-up.
There's no shows right now, but one day there will be, and you should check my Instagram, and then you could like go.
And you could literally come.
You could come when there is one.
Okay, wait. So what is your most embarrassing moment?
So I was in high school. When I was in high school, I had like pretty active IBS.
Good.
Because I don't know why. I think it was because
all adventurous women do.
Yeah, I think it was because my diet was so bad. Oh. Like I ate like garbage, and also because I was so high anxiety, and anxiety triggers like poop.
Sure.
So I was also like
perfect.
Yeah. So I was just like shitting all the time, and
as God intended.
And so there had so I had been like studying for midterms or something with my friends at like a Starbucks. I had like 2 bagels. I had coffee. My friend's driving me home.
Oh no.
She's driving me home. I get like cold sweats. I'm like, whoa. Something's going on in my body. We got to do something. She was like, if you fucking poop in my car, I swear to God. I was like, I'm not going to poop in your car, but I will not make it home. Like there's no shot I make it home. My body was freaking out. It was happening actively. Not actively, but it was about to. And we're driving to my house, and we passed a driveway that's familiar to me. And it is the driveway of my sister's then ex-boyfriend. And I was like, pull into that house. Yep. And we pull into the house. And I go bang on the door.
Yep.
Nobody answers.
No.
It's like 11:30 in the morning, maybe, setting the scene. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to shit now. I have to shit. idea is, okay, I'm going to go shit behind his shed. So I go behind their shed and I shit. And my friend is in the car crying, laughing because I'm shitting behind this poor boy's shed.
Yep.
And as I finish up, he walks out of the house.
No!
It wasn't even like I got away with it. He was home. He was sleeping. And he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I just shit behind your shed.
You did not say that.
I told him. I was like, I just shit over there. And he was like, do you want to like use my bathroom? I was like, that would be lovely. And so now, mind you, he's like not in contact with my sister at this point. Yeah. She gets a text that's like, your little sister just shit in my backyard. And she's like, I think he's lying to try and talk. And I was like, no, I did. And yeah, so that's my shit story. Shit behind his shed. He gave me an old pair of his sister's pajama pants to wear home. Nice.
You shit your
because I shit my pants, yeah. I shit behind the shed as well as shit my pants. So it was both of those things. Yeah. And you know what's great is nothing like that ever happened again. It was that severe and then it just completely stopped.
Listen, there's so much that I love about this story. Let's start with him breaking no contact. That's crazy.
Yeah, just to let her know.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so funny.
I've never told that story on stage because I was just like, poop story, I don't know.
I don't know if you can do that on stage, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's hilarious, but it's like the kind of funny that's like...
It's story funny.
It's story funny.
Yeah.
Wow. I love how you didn't even try and cover... Like, I would have been lying or something.
I have a thing about lying. I can't. The only time I lied recently was someone took me on a first date to the same exact place the last first date had taken me. And he was like, have you been here before? And I was like, no. And there was no reason for me to say it. I could have been like, yeah, but I was just like, nope, never been here before.
Yeah.
And
I
just
get
like
why you would have lied.
Created a different like narrative for that.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
Now you're caught in a lie forever.
Yeah.
I also don't lie. I'll sometimes try and like shirk or change subject, but if someone pushes me on something, I can't lie at all.
Mm-hmm.
But no, one time, like years ago, this guy asked me out on a date and we had plans or something and I wanted to cancel the plans just because I wanted to cancel the plan. I was like, I don't really
totally
care.
Fair.
So I said like, oh, I'm actually staying in tonight. I'm like so tired. And then the next day, and because I never lie, I don't think about like, oh, I have to keep up a
I have
lie.
to like, yeah.
So the next day he texted me and was like, so how was last night? And I go, amazing. I went out. I was like, so much fun. I literally went out and then
so
I like
funny.
literally scrolled up and I was like, we didn't see each other again.
One time, wait, can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
that reminded me of this. This is a little different, like not a lie, but someone, a guy, I think it was just a platonic friend, was asking me like how my day was. And that morning I had like had a one night stand and woke up and went home after. He was like, how was your day? What did you do today? And I was like, let's see. First I got home. And he was like, first you got home. I was like, yeah. I'm like, yes.
Like immediately.
Immediately caught. That was very funny.
There you go.
That's it.
All right. Well,
this was lovely.
Let's hang again soon.
Yes.
Let's trade work.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah, if you ever want to meet and talk features, we can talk out.
I actually literally need to do
that. It
is
is so helpful to have someone to give feedback. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Great.
Okay, yay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Love you. Bye.
I love you, May.